You've recorded your podcast episodes, you've edited them to perfection, and now you want to get your podcast out to the world. We're diving into the exciting world of podcast hosting, what an RSS feed is, and how to get your podcast out into the different directories. Here we go. Hey there, podcasters. My name's John. Welcome back to Podbean Academy. First things first, we're going to talk all about your podcast art, which is a very important part of distributing your podcast and making sure that your podcast art meets the specifications and requirements of the different directories. Your podcast art is the first impression that podcasters are going to see when it comes to learning about your show. You'll want it to be eye-catching, but also be reflective of your podcast's overall tone. Your podcast art needs to be 1400 by 1400 pixels, but no larger than 3000 by 3000. Your podcast art also needs to be saved as a JPEG or a PNG format. And lastly, keep your file size under 1 megabyte. Think about what your podcast art conveys and think about if your podcast art conveys the right tone to reflect your show. Consider your sizing too, as your podcast art is going to be usually looked at on mobile devices. So you'll want to make sure that the art that you choose reflects your art properly on those different mobile devices. Take a look at your favorite podcast art covers and see what stands out for you. For example, Welcome to Night Vale's art is extremely recognizable regardless of the device that you're looking at their podcast art on. It's instantly recognizable because of its unique shapes and colors. While you don't have to match their style, it's a great example of visibility. Now, let's move on to podcast hosting, a crucial step in your podcasting journey. Your podcast host is where you're going to be uploading your podcast to, so choosing the right one for you is essential. Whether you're interested in getting your podcast on any of the popular directories, choosing the right podcast host is a vital role in getting it there. You'll want to choose a podcast host that gives you valuable data about your listener. Valuable statistics is going to help you understand your audience and understand how they're engaging with your content. These statistics can highlight where your listeners are coming from, what their favorite episodes are, and even what time of day people are engaging with your content. This can help inform your decisions as to when the best time for you to publish your episodes is. Many hosting platforms like Podbean also offer tools for monetization, social sharing, and other tools that can help a podcaster grow their show. These tools also enhance the podcaster's experience. What's great with a tool like Podbean is not only can you make money from ads running on your show, but you can also run ads for your podcast on other podcasts to help grow your show. Apple Podcast subscriptions lets you offer paid content for your most dedicated listeners. Different hosting platforms also offer various tiers with various offerings. Many of those hosting platform plans relate to the amount of content that you upload per month. Any of Podbean's paid tiers are unlimited bandwidth and unlimited uploads, so you never have to worry about the amount of people that are listening or the amount of content that you're uploading per month. The great news is that setting up your hosting account is a breeze. All you need to do is sign up for your hosting platform, upload your podcast art, give your podcast a title and a good description, and you're good to go. Plus, you can select up to 3 categories for your podcast, 1 primary and then 2 subcategories. This helps podcasting directories understand how to list your content. And don't forget, your podcast host is where you're going to find your all-important RSS feed. So what is an RSS feed and why is it crucial for your podcast? Your RSS feed URL contains all of the information for your podcast, from your title to your podcast art, your podcast description, and much more. This feed sends vital information to the directories and allows those directories to send back to you valuable analytics. To ensure your feed is valid, you will have to fill out a variety of fields. 2 such fields are your author's name and your email address. Some of these directories may not need you to have your email address listed long term. This is a crucial change in the podcasting industry, which helps keep your information private. You're now equipped to publish and distribute your podcast episodes. You should also understand what it takes to get your podcast on the various directories, as well as have a deeper meaning for what your RSS feed does and how you can use it to submit to different directories. Remember, the key to success is not just putting out great content, but also getting your content in front of the eyes and ears of an audience. Making sure that you understand about your podcast host and your RSS feed, make sure that you're effectively getting your podcast into the right eyes and ears of your audience. Thanks so much for tuning into this video. If you haven't already, check out the other videos here on how to start a podcast track here on Podbean Academy. Thanks so much, and as always, happy podcasting.